All right, so we're here with Robert Kiyosaki at the second Red Pill Expo. Robert, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Your speech was fantastic. You talked a little bit about the Federal Reserve. Could you tell us a little bit about your concerns with the Federal Reserve and the broader monetary system?
Oh, well, first of all, let me just say, I always say this, I have no political affiliation. I'm not Republican or Democrat. I'm not a liberal or a conservative. I'm just a capitalist is what I am. So I like to say that. My concern is the printing of money. Mm-hmm. And, throughout history, the printing of money has never worked. And starting in 1971, Nixon took us off the gold standard, which created the biggest money printing in world history. Now, it's done a lot of good. It's boomed the economy, but it's created this huge gap between the haves and have-nots. And my concern is that it doesn't last. You look at the Chinese printed money back in 600 AD. The Romans printed, Zimbabwe printed, the colonists printed, the Continental, the Confederates printed. Everybody prints money. It always ends badly. So my only concern as a free citizen is to say, why don't we have financial education in schools? That is my whole complaint. What does school teach you about money? And the answer is nothing. Mm-hmm. People say it's economics and all that. Well, that's not money. Economics is a soft pseudoscience. And economics is kind of swayed by the whims of the political powers. So that's just my biggest concern. I think it's not going to end well.
And so what's the solution? What do we do? I mean, in terms of both getting the kids educated about money and in terms of the situation we're in with the money printing?
Well, I'm not that optimistic. Our school systems, as you know, I've never heard so many people against the school system. And, so many years ago when I started out criticizing the school system, that was like criticizing God. How dare you criticize the teachers? Well, so I'm not criticizing the teachers, I'm criticizing the system. Mm-hmm. I'll say it again. What does school teach you about money? Answer is nothing. Is that an accident? I don't think so. And I think, so what's happening right now is the moment you print money, your wealth is stolen via the money you work for, because they can just keep printing it. And so I say to a lot of baby boomers here, the old guys, like me, and I said, us baby boomers, we were the richest generation in history. We're going to end up one of the poorest. Because Social Security is gone. The Constitution states that we are an entitlement country. It says that if we can't pay for something, everybody's entitled to it now. But that's constitutional. I'm not here to change that. I created my cash flow game. I write my books for people who want to just be proactive. Can you teach yourself about what our schools don't teach you? And there's only 6 words that make up financial education. That's what I covered. One is income, expense, assets, liabilities, cash flow. And you can teach a child that, and they can understand how they can actually take care of themselves financially into the future, and whether you go to school or not. That's all I'm saying. So what is financial education? Well, it's not taught in schools, and that's my concern.
And so, speaking of the money issue ending badly, I mean, what would you recommend to an average person out there? Maybe they have a little bit of money they've saved up over their life, maybe their retirement. Do you have any ideas on where they might try to put it to preserve their wealth?
I really don't do that. It's really tragic. A guy just came up to me when I was walking off. He says, I have $300,000. What should I do? I said, I'm not a financial planner. But it says, what I do, Robert Kiyosaki said, what I do is not what you should do. Mm-hmm. Because I use 100% debt. When the dollar came off the gold standard in 71, I was flying in Vietnam. And that's when I went looking for gold. I went behind enemy lines to look for gold. And I realized I didn't even know what gold looked like. So I've been buying gold, but the change in my education, because I had a rich dad, I used debt. So when the markets crashed in 2008 and interest rates came plummeting down, went to negative interest rates, went to excessive QE, quantitative easing, I thought I died and went to heaven. I borrowed in 2010, $300 million. Today it's up to about $700 million. I'm almost a billionaire in debt. But I use debt as money because that's what happened in '71. Now, should that guy with 300,000 do the same as me? Absolutely not. And you know what most people do is they should save money. I'm going, well, they're not going to stop printing it, but saving money, I guess, is better than nothing. But it might be nothing, you know. So I just encourage people to check it out for themselves, and be careful who you talk to.
Excellent. And I know you have a new book coming out. It's called Fake, if I'm not mistaken. Could you tell us a little bit about it, a sneak preview maybe?
Right. Fake, it should have come out, but so many things are changing so quickly that I had to keep stalling it and changing it. So Fake is about fake money, fake teachers, fake assets. And so our assets went fake, when this thing's called derivatives came out. So now you have mortgage-backed securities and CDOs, CLOs, and all this. Derivatives only make guys like me rich, but it rips off the wealth from everybody else. And it's a tragedy what's happening. And the average guy has no idea what a derivative is. And all they know is they're saving money, they're giving their money to their financial planner, and they're putting it in the stock market. And so my charts were showing is when you look at the Dow over 125 years, you track quantitative easing, and you track the Weimar Republic, the charts are identical. And that's all I'm pointing out to people. What the individual should do depends upon their level of financial intelligence or financial IQ. So I use debt. Should they use debt? Absolutely not. Should everybody have some gold and silver? If you want, but gold and silver is not an investment. Gold and silver is just an insurance policy against a corrupt financial system. So I'd rather have gold and silver than savings. And the average person has no savings. So if they have no savings, how do they get gold and silver? That is a quandary we're in. And so it's really a tragedy. I'll say it again. Baby boomers were the richest generation in world history. But our whole actuarial tables and our whole investments tables are built on 7.5% return. And that we'd all die at 70. Well, I'm 71. I haven't died yet, one of my classmates just died finally, but I think we'll just keep living on. And so I think the baby boom generation may be the unluckiest generation. The younger guys like you have a chance to make corrections. But the older guys like me don't have that luxury of time. So what should a person do? Well, if you have nothing, I don't think gold and silver will save you either. And you better hope that the government takes care of you. That's what it comes down to.
Wow. Well, Mr. Kiyosaki, thank you very much for your insight.